That's right. I'm back, and I have a new machine to prove it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, new and improved, version 2.0, whatever you want to call it. If you're a fan of the Facebook page, you would have been treated to a video of the rig yesterday. And if you're not a fan of the Facebook page, well, you better join up Facebook and go and see it, because it's the only place it's going to be posted, I'm afraid. Yeah, so I'm up and running. I've got some Average Joe's action today. It's not going to be what some of you were hoping. I'm sure you were all probably like, yes, Uber stress test, settings, 2 hour in a game, let's go, let's do this. Not doing that today. That's purely on time constraints. I'm going away for the weekend, but I'm sorting out things out for that. But next week we're going to get down and dirty. I promise. I will go searching for something as redonkulous as I can find. But meanwhile, it's going to be custom 4v4 today, and it's going to take place on Madness 1 version 2, which is a map that's new to me. So exciting stuff. I'm ready, you guys are ready, and the players are sure as hell ready. So let's go on over to the game zone and see how these guys are going to get on. Chang, ka-ching. Now, you have to bear with me because, like I say, this is a whole new setup, so there might be some settings that I've missed. Things might look a little bit different. Sound levels, I'm hoping, I've done a couple of quick tests, hoping are going to be okay. If there are any problems, feel free to yell at me in the comments, and I will try to sort it out. Alright, brand new map, a little bit weird. We'll take a look at the finer points of it in just a second. Let's introduce the players. First of all, we'll call this Team 1 over here on the left, and this Team 2 over here on the right. Going first for Team 1, our highest ranking pro today. Let's turn names back on. Why are names not on by I don't know, proper default? It's a bit weird. I had to set up a hotkey to get it working. Anyone know how to fix that? Do let us know. Anyway, it's Angry Artie. Here he is in Fecal Brown. That's right, going UEF, so we got one thing right. And opening first air. Next up, next to him in the center, we have Zanjis, another UEF, this time going Elephantine Grey, and opening first land. Team member number 3 to the north in Cyanide Scion, we have Deathwolf 99. He's sporting this season's very fashionable Aeon, opening first land. And last but not least for Team 1, we have Nitpeck, another UEF in Ferrari Red, opening first land. So 3 UEF and an Aeon there for Team 1. Team 2, by contrast, kicking off with Paha PCT. He's going Cybrin, bless him, in Mellow Yellow, opening first land. Team member number 2 in the center, we have Septin, their highest rated player. Another Cybrin, this time in Baby Blue, going first land. Team member number 3 up here at the top is Crozier, another Cybrin, this time Regal Purple, and going first land, second air. And team member number 4 down here in Electric Blue, breaking with tradition, it's Thoughtful Pony. He's going UEF, opening first land. So 3 Cybrin and a UEF there for Team 2. Game qualities, a Gnat's Testicle away from balance at 92%, or at least what we consider to be balance here at Guilecast. And as you'll see, it's pretty much Joe's all round. We have a couple of pros. The aforementioned Angry Artie over here, he's leading the pack at 1700. And next up for Team 2 at 1500 there is Septim. Everybody else is sub-pro level, and we even have a couple, or in fact 3 sub-1000s. We've got Deathwolf 99 on 800, we have Paha PCT on 600, and Zanjis on 400. Of course, global rating, not a measure of ability, just general guide, if you will. So let's take a look at this map. You can see NG's already rushing towards the middle to pick up some reclaim. Has some rocks in the middle, 2 hydros there, 2 mexes, and then 4 outer mexes down each of the channels that cross in the center. Those taper off to give alternative routes out to each side. You have a couple of plateaus up in what are very unpleasant hillsides, certainly very unpleasant from a casting point of view, because, well, you move around and you get all this kind of action going on with your camera, which isn't great. But 3 mexes on each of those plateaus. Action kicking off with some ACUs Angry Artie moving forward, grabbing a couple of engineer kills on Septon, who's trying to pick up that far eastern of the central or eastern central hydro. He's not going to be successful there. Down goes the build, down goes the last engineer, and down goes Mantis, who showed up for good measure. Little seal-off action up here from Deathwolf. He's thrown down T1 PD in some wall sections to contain the avenue that leads to his base. Very sensible. Not the same thing going on here for Thoughtful Pony. Clearly not as thoughtful as we once imagined. Cheeky engineer drop to the southern plateau from Nitpeck. And it looks like he might be making a play for the northern one as well. He wants to hurry up though. Slight transport fail there for Crozier, who can't seem to negotiate the topographical issues on this map. He can't get his engineers to land. Oh my god, that is not what you want for a fail. I don't even know what's going on there, if he's had an issue with his offload command or he's stationed it over here and forgot to issue the offload command. Either way, he's lost out initially to Nitpeck, who gets that engineer on the ground, goes straight for a couple of wall sections, I'm guessing to make landing just a little bit more taxing, and then a huge quantity of rail guns will follow, so potentially a double hold there for him. Very nicely done. Transport fails all round as we have some problems emerging for Thoughtful Pony. It looks like they've changed the colour of electric blue as well in the colour shuffle. It seems like it's shifted slightly more towards the violet end of the spectrum, and towards violet and purple. Not quite the clear deep blue it used to be. I shan't be changing it, however. I don't have enough time trying to isolate some decent names for the other ones. Another little issue with the engineer. So immediate problem with this map. It causes horrendous issues for transports. That's a whole transport down with 3 engineers on board, taken out by some interceptors there from Angry Artie. Now he's managed to deal with the engineer up here and finally gets the offload, does Crozier. 4 engineers down, and I'm imagining that'll be 3 mexes going to him. T1 bomber taking some damage for Crozier over the top of Deathwolf's base. Didn't seem to get the angle right there. Looked like there was a whole bunch of clumped build capacity around that T2 naval factory. So early T2 Navy there for Deathwolf. What have we got over here? 2 T1 naval yards from Crozier, already spitting out some tridents there, and a sliver as well. Get that in down here and deny Deathwolf's emergence into proper naval play. That will be quite a coup for Team 2. A lot of resources from him being sunk into that early upgrade. Remember, we're only 6 going on 7 minutes in here, so that's a pretty big wealth sink. Thoughtful Pony getting overrun there by a couple of thunderheads from Team 1. Angry Artie and Nitpeck double teaming him. He's got a decent amount of build capacity around his naval yard. Having trouble spitting things out quickly though. Quick look at mass totals. Mass leader so far, Nitpeck on 39. He, of course, has had access to that plateau for a little bit longer. Then his mirror up here, Crozier, who is also, though, now on 39. He's just jumped Nitpeck to 45. Angry Artie at the back might be highest ranking player, but he's on 27. That will reflect more on his starting position than anything else. Less mass available to him. Now, Thoughtful Pony, got a lot to think about. Down goes his naval yard. Doesn't look like there's anything coming in to try and rescue it. And up at the other end of the map, things not looking great for Deathwolf as Crozier swarms his T2 Naval HQ. Looking like he was thinking of backing out there. There is one Vesper, which is causing problems for these frigates, but he will bag the HQ, and that's pretty crucial. And he's bringing in some slivers as well to contend with that Vesper. Vesper should prioritize the subs first, but it's not doing that. And as such, eventually, it's down and out. 3 Tridents remain. They'll want to pull that away from the comm. Comm's taking some damage here, dips below 75% into the yellow. Should look like we had some TAC missile fire, and indeed we do. 1 TAC missile battery there with 10 kills to its name already for Septin, and it's been picking off some of the core mass in here for Zanjis. Now Angriati is taking fire at his base as well. These core mass were all unupgraded, and Thoughtful Pony control K-ing. Niptep asking yellow to leave, so there's obviously been some lag issues. Thoughtful Pony's taking some fire down here, but oh no, that's awful. He leaves, and it takes with him a whole load of Septin's build capacity that was sitting around. That's, well, I guess, I don't know, they might all have been on comms or something. There might have been some things said, so he might not have been too worried about ruining the game for his teammates. Who knows? But down he's gone. Paha gets to stay, and Angry Artie getting a bit double teamed here. Paha PCT rolling in with his comm. He's got Cerberus turret fire from Septim. He is nearby the water. However, there's a Barracuda waiting for him there, so that's not great. He's going to be taking torpedo fire now. And the question is, can he get back to the channel without those Cerberus turrets opening up on him? I think he can. And he's got some backup now from Zanjis, who wisely recognized the danger his teammate was in. And he's shooed Par PCT off into the water. Angriati taking fire once again. Luckily, it's a Cerberus PD and not anybody else's. Otherwise, he'd be up a certain creek without a certain implement. That's a very peaky looking ACU indeed. Zanji's taking fire now. Incidentally, lots of people excited about the new rig, assuming that meant I was going to be dropping 4K resolution on you guys. I'm not planning to do that. Reason being, it's always nice to see the UI, and my eyesight is not what it used to be. I don't fancy sitting here with a magnifying glass trying to cast. I'm sure there's a decent bunch of you out there that feel the same. So not planning to go down that route. I'm not 100% sure the 2007 graphics will be enhanced that much by such a move anyway. T2 Naval Tech online for Nitpec. So Team 2, thanks to that lag ousting, down a player, and it was one of their 1100s, or their 1100 I should say. Still a 1500 and a 1300 and a 600 in the game. And Team 2 still looking pretty good naval wise. Deathwolf now confined to land play. Our only concern really now is Nitpec, who's got a cruiser out there and a destroyer. 4 Barracudas rolling in for PCT, picking up those southerly underwater mexes. Governor unable to get anywhere sensitive, cause any damage. Team 2 will want to keep it that way. Still those TAC missiles raining in. Zangi's struggling to get TMD online, and in fact that sailing right over the top of Zangi's base and hitting Angry Arty. Intrigued as to how far that reach makes it. We've actually got counterfire from Nitpec as well. TAC missile launcher back here. But there are zappers up front. Corsair for Nitpec wants to do something about that. Quick bombing run straight up the middle. On top of that zapper, he's going to need to land 2 more of those. Take some fire from the ships at the back, but that won't worry him too much. Another bomb away. No, excuse me. 1 more was enough to do it. So that zapper is out of commission. However, as soon as one dies, another one goes up. That Janus heads north and hits Crozier. Takes out some T1 P-Gens. Now taking fire from some basic interceptors covering the skies. Finally deal with that. Could have been a lot worse. Meanwhile, down in the south, around the Cape, if you will, things not going great for Team 2. They pushed those naval forces of Nitpec back towards his factory at the back there. And then were re-ousted. But not a good time for Nitpec to overextend. You should be very worried about those Barracudas. Not actually sure why PCT was running there. He should have sent them straight in to take out that destroyer and that torpedo boat. It's got more than enough firepower to do it. It gets inside that shield. Slightly clumsily handled there, if you ask me. T1 and T2 span for Zangi's, massing in the middle. Trying to find a solution now through the cliff edges with some of the flapjacks and Lobos. Caused some problems for PCT, who's trying to set up shop in Thoughtful Pony's old base. Very unusual map this, very unusual game. Lower unit count. Each play seems to matter more. Salem wisely keeping out of range. This could be a problem for Deathwolf now. Trying to find a counter for this. We have some torpedo bombers lurking down here for Angry Arty. Might require some aerial assistance from his teammate in the south. Down goes the shield gen, and his T2P gen's going to be painful. Deathwolf loses that, and that power locks him. This could be a pretty significant win right now for Team 2. Deathwolf moving his comm, but he has managed to get the upgrade to T3, and he's producing Harbingers, and that far and away outstrips any other tech that's on the landmass at the present time. First T3 units, I believe, in play anywhere. We do have a T3 factory here for PCT. He's trying to get some power sorted though, still focusing on naval production at the same time to try and contend with Nitpec. Barracudas dropping like flies though. Once again, combination of Crozier and PCT forcing their way over to Nitpec's naval yard. They want full supremacy, but what's going on here? Zangi's dropping out and PCT dropping out. Major lag central, and that will change the landscape significantly. Down go the Barracudas in the south. Nitpec under shield coverage as Crozier comes around the edge of the island, now ready and in a position to damage his base. Surely wants to focus on the naval yard more than anything else, so he can hold on to this advantage he's got. Nitpec strolling into the water, taking a lot of damage, doesn't want to lose his comm. Needs to be very careful here. Could be about to go south very quickly indeed. Nitpec on the shoreline, 2,000 hit points. Meanwhile, we've got Harbingers and Angry Artie pushing on towards the base, but Nitpec in danger, trying to make the shield. Needs to make the shield. What are you doing, sir? Oh my god, a misclick. Horrible play there. Gets him killed on the outside of the shield gen. If he had just rolled in, he might have bought himself a little bit more time. But meanwhile, the Harbingers for Deathwolf 99 and Angry Artie just tearing it up as they stroll through Team 2's territory. Crozier's base is next. Septim's base is gone with the exception of a couple of emplacements down here. He's got lots of build capacity, so he has a chance to rebuild. But those Harbingers we saw being produced earlier, absolutely eviscerating all the structures on Team 2's side of things. Angry Artie in the mix with a Rambo comm as well. T2 and Zeph Amp on board that ACU. That push, that naval push from Crozier coming just a little bit too late. So three drop connections. You have to wonder what this game would have been like had they been able to stay in, but clearly lag or NAT issues going on meant that it was unsustainable. Not a game I would usually cast, as you're well aware. Or a case of showcasing the Joes and the map. Deathwolf holding on to his fortress by the sea. Couple of shield gens strategically placed to try and buffer that incoming fire and protect sensitive structures like that land factory in the P-gen at the back. Has he managed to get his power issues under control?
Under attack.
Well, he hasn't got much in reserve. Definitely doesn't want to lose that T2 P-gen again. Meanwhile, though, that group of Harbs still increasing. Angry Artie still assisting them. Harbs heading south, taking care of those Cerberus turrets from Septim. Down they go. And you've got to think, Septim, Crozier, you want to hold on to those engineers at all costs. Don't throw them away to these Harbs. You're going to need them to rebuild. If you can find a patch of land to rebuild in, it's going to be a very difficult task. What a strange outcome we have now. Total naval supremacy in the hands of Team 2. Total land supremacy in the hands of Team 1. And just enough awkward territory to keep the two forces apart. Had one or two of these situations in the past. We had one on Tag Craftiest Maximus some time ago. 27 minutes gone. All of the base is gone. And no end in sight. We've got naval mexes for income for Team 2. Only problem is, of course, power. Were this total annihilation, you can build just about anything anywhere, so I hear. I never played the game. It wouldn't be such an issue, but in SupCom, you need solid land. That's what Team 1 have. Advantage immediately with them. Can they rebuff the naughty walkie-walkie as the gender-confused destroyers march on towards, very ill-advisedly, their ACU, which I'm sure won't be able to overcharge, will he? He hasn't got access to energy storage. It might be Angriati that's made a horrible mistake here, rolling forward. Maybe he forgot for a moment that he couldn't overcharge them. Or maybe he just had a little bit too much faith in his ACU. Maybe he forgot about these other destroyers that were lurking further behind, but this is looking very bad for him. Sub 1,000 hit points. He dances. He avoids some of the incoming fire, but the Harbs turn up just in time. Fire still focused on Angriati's comm as he dances, still sub 1,000 HP, but look at the Harbs just tear those Salems apart. That's gone pretty darn well for Team 1, considering where it looked like it was headed a few seconds ago. Angriati, blessed under a wandering star, somehow manages to survive. Things not looking great on the old ACU there. It's only a little bit of fire in your suit. Perfectly tolerable. Septim, so Septim with build capacity down here. He's getting set up nicely with his comm. Has come around the bottom here. T2 engineering suite online. So going straight for that T2 P-Gen. So Team 2 have some power now. Looking at actual income though. Crozier up here has got 45 and Septim's on 44. Compare that to Angriati's on 23 and Deathwolf, who is on suit-only generation. 1 mass per tick. They have a huge economic advantage. The trouble is, can they be left alone by this wandering group of Harbingers long enough to actually get any facilities online anywhere? The answer at the present time is looking like a no, as they come tearing through Crozier's newly constructed field of T1 P-Gens. Septim transfers a transport over to his teammate. Probably looking like he wants to come over, pick up some build capacity and airlift them over here as far away from the Harbingers as possible. Harbingers taking Salem fire from newly replenished forces. But of course they can just slink back into the cliffs where they are well covered, and after that last escapade, doubting those Salems are going to be chasing them anytime soon. Harbingers just too quick with their replicator style legs, chasing them down. 33 or nearly 34 minutes game time gone. So having had 3 droppers, this has suddenly turned into a rather unusual and interesting game where we play guess who's going to come out on top, because it really is anyone's at this point. Team 1 burrowing in the center like the hairy little ticks they are. And now those Harbingers on the move, coming after Septim once again. Has he recognized the danger? Yes, he has. He's got 4 Cerberus turrets online and 2 auto guns. Is that enough to keep those Harbs at bay? It's a finite resource, these Harbingers. Once they're gone, that is it for Team 1. They will slowly get crippled. There are no more production facilities at the present time for Deathwolf. But he's going for it. 1 Harb down, and yeah, it wasn't ever in doubt, really. Down goes Septim's new base. And Septim's comm under attack from a torpedo bomber. Fortunately, he's got a little bit of assistance from these Salems. He could have done with a cruiser or 2 to really ward those torpedo bombers off. But this is trouble now for Septim. Harbingers cover the land, and he can't get away from these torpedo bombers, more of which will be being produced all the time there from Angry Artie. He's got kennels as well, engineering drones providing some assistance. Down goes one Salem. They've switched up away from the ACU onto the destroyers now. And back to the ACU, and another Control K from Septon. He didn't like his odds of getting home. That's the 4th dropout, but I think that one was justified. The first one that actually was. The others all related to lag or connectivity issues. And now that changes things dramatically. Angry Artie with a decent income, catching Crozier up, who's on 45. He's on 35. Crozier was getting a stealth upgrade there on his comm. Did he finish it? Yes, he did. But all that's going to really help him do is hide from these torpedo bombers. It's not really going to help him maneuver around what is becoming an increasingly difficult scenario here, as Team 1 continue to get re-established in the center, and now over on the left. Lots of mass to be hoovered up. Total mass figures have Team 2 in the lead by about 4k, 3k, maybe 3.5. But I have a feeling that's about to change. And of course, at this stage in the game, completely irrelevant, really. When both teams have essentially destroyed all means of production and are then trying to re-establish. Historical mass means nothing. Shield gen online, they have some coverage. Sure would love to get some artillery, T2 static in there. Expensive but invaluable at countering this fleet-based stratagem from Crozier. Harbs trying to hug the cliff edge as much as possible. That's a lot of incoming fire though from the Salems. Could we be about to see the final demise of these Harbingers, which have been absolutely brutal as far as Team 2 are concerned? Crozier looking like he wanted to come out for a bit of ACU action. Wouldn't have been able to overcharge them, and still, look at that power lock situation. The Harbs have suffered greatly, but they bought Team 1 enough time, I think, to get re-established. And now there's a whole new set of problems to worry about as Angry Artie breaks out the spearheads, those mobile missile platforms with outrageous DPS, if you can get the missiles through to their targets. Or to sneak through the gaps in the peaks there to take out one of those mexes on the plateau. Those two Harbingers advance once again, take some more fire. Just doing a bit of patrol work, no doubt. NG's over here for Crozier still alive. We have some more up here as well. They're getting back to work on replenishing all those T1 PGen stocks. And it's tough when you've only got 2 mass coming your way thanks to such an overwhelming power lock. Well, he's actually full mass bar, but the power causing its own problems. Another wave of torpedo bombers inbound, take out a Siren class cruiser. Anti-air on board, ineffectual against that many torpedo bombers. Good work from Angry Artie, switching it up to some airplay. Causing new headaches for Crozier, who effectively deals quite nicely with some of the torpedo bombers, but loses another cruiser. He has a third up here. 43 minutes gone. And Team 1 still without any real ability to finish this off. Mass torpedo bomber spam proving effective. What he really needs to do is get these chaps in here and take out these naval yards so he can once and for all silence what has been the most effective offensive tool for Team 2 throughout the game. Worth bringing those spearheads round here and seeing if you can hit it up the edge. Of course, avoiding those destroyers which have just rolled in from the coast. They're going to pick off a couple of the sniper bots or T3 mobile anti-air. I'm just imagining it'd be sniper bots. I'll see what the purpose of anti-air would be at this point. Crozier not being offensive in the air in any way, shape or form. Now 3 Salems hitting back through the valley here. Where are the ACUs? So Angriati's way back here, and he has T2 naval yard online with a destroyer operational. In fact, 2 more destroyers that are already heading around the northern cape and picking off those T2 mexes which have been keeping Crozier afloat. And spearheads coupled with a stinger and some sniper bots effectively dispatched. Look at that, just cut their way through that destroyer. Angriati could get those spearheads in here and those sniper bots in with him and cause major problems for Crozier now if he wanted to. Focus is perhaps more on what's going on up here and back at base. Salem down, Siren down. And this quite simply looks like the end now for Crozier. Team 1 getting well established, huge quantities of build capacity, cannibalizing the wrecks of the old base. Surely no real way out here. Now, those naval facilities are next. Can't believe he didn't finish off that T2 factory at the back. It's not the headquarters. The headquarters are here, so that's the real target they want to get. You see Angriati peppering it with torpedo bombers. There it goes. No more T2 vessels for you, sir. Spearheads and sniper bots roll on through. Crozier quite plainly now sitting in 7 shades of poo without a shovel. And that, I think, will be that in what was ostensibly a very unusual game. Like I say, I would never normally cast a game with so many DCs. Voluntary control Ks, should we call it. But in a way it got us to this strange but slightly interesting to and fro, this kind of base trade situation. Credit where credit's due to Crozier. He's making a go of this, getting as many T1 land factories as he can together and trying to spam these high value long range targets with labs, trying to avoid the incoming fire from the sniper bots. It's a reasonably effective play, but Crozier gets swamped by a band of gunships. Stingers finish him off. Angriati takes him down from the air at 51 minutes. A little shorter than that, I imagine, cast time. I think I had that running at +2 for a lot of it. But yeah, very unusual game indeed. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I say, a little bit of a departure from the norm. We'll have more serious and, well, should we say, rig-taxing games coming your way next week. But until next time, guys, stay well and stay safe. Do, if you feel so inclined, support me on Patreon. I need it now more than ever. If you understand my meaning. But yeah, looking forward to some long-range sentence action next week. So keep them coming, guys. And also, guys, if you're submitting replays, give me some replays on the new map. I want to do one on that new map. It looks very funky indeed. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it was all over the Facebook page, the FAF Facebook page, with those wonderful JPEG mock-ups they do. From what was his name? Bad Boy, something Bad Boy. Whoever made that, well done to you, sir. We need more map makers, modders than ever before. Keep the community growing and all that jazz. All right, that's enough for me. Like I said, until next time, guys, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile signing out.